Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of In the Gallery. Today, we're going to jump right into a case that it's extremely heartbreaking. You guys most likely have seen it. It's been all over the news. The Stockton shooting at the children's party. It seems to be gang related. I've done a little bit of research on YouTube and elsewhere, and those like Traveler Ross and academics have kind of dug into the story a little bit. And it seems like there were a lot of gang members at this event. It doesn't excuse that behavior at all, obviously, but it just brings about a larger conversation in terms of if you should really be normalizing having your children around hardened criminals. Because it seems like hardened criminals have no issue murdering children over some type of possible gang beef. So let's get into it. Unfortunately, 3 children lost their lives, 1 adult. Heartbreaking story. I watched the father of the 14-year-old on the news tell his story and his recount of the events, and it brought me to tears just hearing the pain and the suffering this man is going through, and the regret, the wishing that he could have done more, questioning all of the stages of grief and that he's experiencing because of some immature scum of the earth, really. I want to call them immature because they're clearly emotionally and mentally stunted to do something like this, to enter a toddler's birthday party and just start shooting because you want to get your ops is absolutely disgusting. And whether it's gang violence or not, it has to end. There's no place for this in our society because these young children had nothing to do with it. And the innocent victims there had nothing to do with it. They're not part of your gang war. And just because there may have been potential gang members there, these murderers decided to take a bunch of innocents with them, and it seems like they didn't even get the gang members. I believe a couple have reported that they were injured or shot, but they're alive. So let's quickly get into the story. The children were aged 8, 9, and 14 that are deceased, and the 21-year-old man, as I mentioned. The victims that were confirmed, I believe this news story actually doesn't have it. Let me just switch over to the one that may. We're going to go through it. Okay, so these are the victims of the shooting. So this is Journey Rose Guerrero. Guerrero. She was 8 years old. This poor child lost her life at a birthday party. I'm going to put the links to the GoFundMe's in here so you guys can easily access them if you would like to donate. I know there is an artist, I believe Burner Boy, is donating or paying for the funeral costs for all of these children and the adult that was murdered. This is Maya Lupin. She was 8 years old. It's just, honestly, I don't want to break down here, but it's just so heartbreaking to think these kids went to a birthday party. And I know we see tragedy in this world on a regular basis and we're becoming so desensitized to it, but this is not okay. This is not okay. And apparently the shooters are still on the run. They have not apprehended them yet. If you've seen any news reports about any gang members being apprehended, initially I thought there were two popular gang members. Well, I don't want to say that they're gang members, but I think they said that they are. I think they've confirmed that they are gang members. These two guys here, one of them is called Lucin Guerrero, who performs as Nano, and Billy Boy, who performs as Flyboy Dougie. I'm pretty sure these are them. These are the guys. And this article is actually from when they were arrested back in 2020 for some type of a gang and drug ring. So they're well known in Stockton. These men were at the party, from my understanding, and either both of them may have been shot or one of them got shot, but they're both alive and well. They've posted on Instagram, and in a way, let me just back up. They were arrested because they violated their parole by even being at the party because they were associating with other gang members. So they were apprehended. So you may have seen that, but they're not the shooters. They were part of the party, and unfortunately, it seems like they were the ones being targeted, I believe. I'm getting this information from Hood Media, so take it with a grain of salt. So let me just finish talking about the victims if I can, because I don't want to disregard that. Amari Peterson, this was the child of the father that I saw speaking. I'm not discounting any of these other people who lost their lives, but it seems like he was really going somewhere in terms of sports and in terms of just being that person. Like, people spoke very highly of him at a very young age. So he made a good impression, is my point. So he lost his life. The father tells a harrowing story of it. And this young man here, 21, Susano Archuleta, he also lost his life. And it's just heartbreaking. So let's just quickly get into this news story.
Mere minutes after the senseless mass shooting that claimed 4 young lives, San Joaquin Sheriff Patrick Withrow says he dedicated himself and his deputies to one task.
The mission is to hunt down the animals that did this.
I have one down. The CPR is already started.
The shooting, horrifying. A hail of gunfire inside a children's birthday party. 4 killed in the crossfire, including 3 children ages 8, 9, and 14.
And you walk onto a scene like this, and there are children laying there, and it still just shocks the conscience.
11 others also injured. It happened Saturday night. More than 100 people packed into this banquet hall as shots rang out.
And it's just heartbreaking to think you're at a children's birthday party. The last thing you're thinking of is trying to duck for cover. The kids are all around playing. So you're just hitting children, actual children. You're scum of the earth. There's nothing gangster about this. There's nothing commendable about this. There's nothing that we should be praising in terms of hip hop culture or anything like that, because this is disgusting.
The Stockton Unified School superintendent sharing one of their students was killed, saying our community is grieving. The sheriff now suspects there may have been more than one shooter. He says a pair of weapons were collected from the roof of the building.
We don't know if they were related to this crime. And it appears that...
Goodness gracious. So a pair of weapons were possibly on the roof of the building. That's the first I'm hearing of that. That's horrible. So was it... Interesting.
Handguns may have been used in this crime.
Stockton's mayor says some of the people at the party had ties to gangs.
From what I understand, it was due to a beef between individuals, and they wanted to send a message.
back on scene, and you can see the level of destruction. This building is riddled with bullets, part of the reason why the sheriff believes he's likely looking for more than one shooter. Tom? We thank you.
So, really quick, I just want to mention that I believe, and this is the mother who held the party, but I believe I've heard that although it was obviously, although the shooters who shot horrible people, it was retaliation for potentially things that those other two young men that I showed you earlier may have done equally as bad. Obviously, maybe it wasn't national news, but they apparently, it seems like they may have, and I'm just speculating here. I have no proof of this, but I heard it through the grapevine that maybe this was retaliation for that. Let's just listen to what the mother had to say, and then we'll wrap it up.
To all the mothers and children out there, if I could do anything to prevent this, I would. I threw a birthday party for my little daughter.
So I'm not here to blame or, cause a scene, but I do want to acknowledge that she has been reported to have very close gang ties. And if you look at her neck tattoos, which I believe say Choke Biddy, and I think that's the nickname for her, one of her either baby daddies or current gang boyfriend. This is potentially part of the, she may have been part of the retaliation is my point. Because it seems like she's very close with some gang members. So just want to put that out there.
She actually turned 2, and I just wanted all my family to come together and be together as it be like.
I'm sorry, but I have to say this. If you are going to live that life, I understand you want your family to come together, but you lose that opportunity when you decide to enter gang culture. I don't know this woman. I want to say she's a nice woman, but I don't know that. And at the end of the day, if you're going to be part of gang culture, it signifies to me that you have a low moral compass. Very, very low. And with that, this is the result of it. I'm not trying to victim blame, but you have to be careful of the company you keep. In addition to, if someone is boasting that they're part of gang culture, that's not someone I want my children around, my family around, that I'm associating with. You're not a positive person for me to associate with. Period. I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I do really appreciate you guys for checking in. Please, if you guys feel so inclined, check out the links for the GoFundMe for the victims in the description below. I'm going to put each one of them there. I myself will donate as well. So please do if you can. If you can't, then just please keep them in your prayers. Have a good one. Bye.